it's Grawlys. I thought it about time I did my next Q&A. This is number 4. It's been over a month since my last one, probably more like 6-7 weeks. So I'm overdue to do one, because I said I'd do one roughly about the beginning of every month. But it's been a bit busy with one thing or another, so I've been meaning to do this Q&A and just getting round to it now. So here goes, in no particular order. Right, first question is from Idic Beer, from Nick. He says, awesome stuff mate, what came first, the chicken or the egg? And also, what is your favourite colour to paint and why? Now, chicken and the egg. There's two ways that this can go. There's the pure chicken and egg theory, in which case it's neither came first or both came first, whichever your point of view is, because the chicken comes from the egg, the chicken comes from the egg, which is laid by the chicken, which egg, chicken. However, I'm more of the Darwinism theory, where evolution has played a part in this conundrum. And if you think that there were creatures before birds, before chickens, that were laying eggs. I mean, there's marsupials lay eggs, so it's not just birds that lay eggs. So we've got creatures crawling out of the ocean, developing some legs and bits and bobs and beaks and mouths and all the rest of it. I mean, the platypus come up. But these things were crawling out of the oceans, laying eggs. Turtles, as an example. These creatures eventually developed into things like the dinosaurs of all varieties, and one branch of that developed into allegedly the Archaeopteryx, which was the ancestor of modern day birds and therefore chickens. So in response to the question, the egg came first because it was before the birds were ever around. So smart answer, smart ass answer, I don't know, but that's my answer. Favourite colour to paint and why? I'm enjoying rainbows at the moment, which obviously is pretty much every colour and shades in between. Harlequins are making a nice change, but predominantly I have painted greens and whites for the Biel-Tan. I do quite like green. It's a very forgiving colour. I have painted red. We do have a Blood Angels army, which if you look in the back catalogue, there's kind of like an army on parade of the Blood Angels. Didn't paint all of them. My eldest stepson, he painted some of them, but I painted some of them as well. That was back when he was at school and doing the Warhammer Club and all the rest of it. He wanted a Blood Angels army. So red, yeah, I quite like painting red. I wouldn't say I have a particular favourite colour. Ones that I don't like painting are white and yellow. You just don't get coverage. Lots and lots of thin layers to cover it up, and like what I'm doing at the moment, the Harlequin diamonds, I've got blue and yellow diamonds, and going back and touching up the yellow, tiny diamonds, and then you've got to go and do it again, and then potentially again to get the colour saturation and so yeah, don't like yellows. Whites, there's just very little in the way that you can get an edge highlight in white. I think painting the Wraith Knight kind of showed that a little bit. You've probably the best way I've learned is not to paint white with an edge highlight of white, but to paint a pale grey that looks white with an edge highlight of white, if that makes sense. But yeah, I suppose if I have a favourite colour anyway, it's kind of blue or green, and the fact that I'm painting the Biel Tan green, there we go, I'll go for that. My favourite colour to paint, green. I think because of the Citadel paint range, there's a lot of shades of green, a lot of different tones and hues and all the rest of it, and you can get a lot of variety, including up to the various shades within a tone, and yeah, so green. Right, next question is Warforge. What film would you like to see? Excuse me. What film would you like to see as a miniature game? I was having to think about this, and I have a few films that I really like. One that I was thinking I would like to see was Labyrinth, the Jim Henson starring David Bowie, the movie Labyrinth. And I think that as almost, I suppose, like a linear thing where you've got to find your way through a maze and kind of solve all the problems and puzzles and kind of rescue the baby at the end. But then I was just generally browsing and I noticed something about a Labyrinth game. So I believe that they actually do it. So that could be interesting to have a look at that and see what the game mechanics of that is and what the kind of gameplay is. But that would have been my choice if it didn't already exist, or I think it exists. A lot of the other films, Star Wars, Star Trek, there are already games for those films. Even Firefly, the Nathan Fillion film, what was the film? Serenity. Firefly was the series. There's even a game for that. But one that I don't think I've seen a game, and I don't know if anybody outside the UK would have heard of this, and it is going back a little bit. Not a film but a TV series, was Blake's 7, with a ship, 3 engines in a triangle, the Liberator. I think that might be quite good as a game. Or I don't know if it's out there as a game, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I've been a fan of Hitchhikers since I was at school, so possibly a game of that. Don't know. Good question. Got me thinking a little bit. But Labyrinth would probably be my first choice. Just after that I found out it already exists. Blake 7. Let's go for Blake 7, game with the Liberator. Because I don't think I've ever seen anything. You might have seen models, die-cast models of the Liberator. And, I can't remember the actor's name. Gareth. I can't think of his name. He only passed away recently, within the last month or so. So I suppose that's kind of what brought it to mind. But it was a kind of a cheesy 70s sci-fi, Brit sci-fi kind of program. So yeah, game for that. So cheers for that, Warforge. 33 Clayton. Alright, buddy. Says, great stuff, mate. Always like listening to these style of videos when I'm painting. So my question is, what's your favourite character from the Elder Fluff and why? Okay. There's quite a few. I mean, you can go for like the famous ones, like Eldrad and all the rest of it. But I've had to think about it, and my choice is connected with Eldrad, because the character I've chosen out of the fluff is allegedly one of Eldrad's daughters, and she's called Macha, or Maka. She's an Elder Farsi, and she is infamous for a particular thing. The fact that she keeps trying to get a leg over, but is actually a 4,000-year-old virgin, because it keeps all going pear-shaped. And I think in some of the stories there's a Khalidus assassin who masquerades as a male and kind of tries to seduce her, and it keeps turning out that this Khalidus assassin, or Khalidus assassin, one or the other, is female. There's another one where a story around where Eldrad allegedly is kind of dicking around and just making life a misery, to be honest, because she's allegedly betrothed to Emperor, who is some kind of comatose corpse god, and she's obviously a virgin, and Emperor keeps turning around and kind of go like hands off, but being a comatose corpse god, can't get it up to do anything, so she's eternally damned, shall we say, to forever be a virgin. So that's it's kind of some interesting, very adult related stories around Macha, sexual preferences and all that. In some respects you could almost be very, very dark Elder-esque, hedonistic, kind of pain, pleasure type things going on, but she's, according to the story, and what it says, let me read it from 1D4 Chan. So it's not my words, it's theirs. It says, there are also conflicting opinions on whether Macha is actually saving herself for the Emperor and choosing to be a virgin, or if she is simply extremely unlucky and constantly frustrated as to why she fails to get laid when her body is the hottest piece of ass in this grimdark universe has ever seen. So, there we go. Hot Eldar chick, keeps trying to get laid but can't. 4,000-year-old virgin. So it's just a complete twist on things. Shows my kind of what imagination. But there we go. What was the other part of the... Was there another part of the question there, Clayton? I don't know. Favourite character and why? I've pretty much answered that, so thanks for that one. And Mammoth Painting Studios, my son Mike, said, I think we are well overdue for a game. How about something later in the year? Bit of a target stroke inspiration to get more stuff painted and go for a bigger game. Possibly. What might be interesting is maybe some kind of channel collaboration. I've always thought that might do some videos on how to actually calculate the rolls, and I mean, people do kind of how to play 40k. You know, they go through, this is the movement phase, this is how you move, this is the shooting phase, this is how you shoot, this is the assault phase, this is how you assault. But I don't ever remember seeing, and if anybody has kind of seen the almost like the mechanics of, well, what roll do you need to hit somebody and how does it kind of all work, what rolls do you need to wound somebody, what's this all about armour penetration, how do you work armour penetration out. So I've not really seen any videos or stuff on YouTube to explain how that side of the game works. So I thought it might be interesting that maybe we can maybe do a collaboration, something along those lines. I don't know, we shall see. Maybe a game, but as Mrs. Grawlys says, she's not having both of us in the front room waffling and warbling geekery. So it would have to be on a trip down to your place or in neutral territory, but then we've got the problem of filming, whether we get permission at I don't know if Paul would give permission at Manchester Games Workshop or something like that, I don't know. Just with it kind of being public, and although obviously all the people being in the video, you've got to be aware of that. So probably round at your place would, you've probably got enough room to set up a 6x4 board, bit more than we have in the front room. So we'll see how it goes, but we can talk about that later. So that's it. That was 1, 2, 3, just the 4 questions on this one. What I have found is that after a release a Q&A video, it tends to be the first kind of few days, first week, people are watching it and they'll kind of ask questions. After a few Q&As, you tend to kind of go, ooh, I've kind of asked quite a few questions now, it's like I don't know what more to ask. You know, so I do understand if you kind of watch the video and kind of go, don't know what else I can ask him. That's fine. You don't have to put a question. I do these Q&As because I like doing them. Some of the questions, as you've seen in this one, they kind of make me think. You know, whether it's about the fluff or different aspects of the hobby and stuff like that. So I enjoy doing it for that reason. If you want to ask a question, ask a question. You know, find out a little more about how the gears in here actually work and whirl. What kind of geekery you can get to come out of here. I don't know. So we shall leave it there for now. So thank you for watching episode 4 of Grawlys Q&A. Again, I'll probably leave it about a month. So where are we? Middle of May. So probably do one. I think beginning of June is going to be too soon. So get your questions in, and I'll probably do one either end of June, beginning of July. Look to round about that to get the next Q&A episode going. But in the meantime, I'll put some other content up and let you have a look at how the Harlequins are progressing. Maybe a vlog, let you know what else has been going on. So yeah, other videos. So I'll leave it for there. I love you and leave you. So for now, from Grawlys Lair, take care.